Hello, Neil here. I thought I'd take a few minutes to share a bit of an update about what's been happening from my side over the past few months. And well, it's been well very full on since since about late summer, early autumn. It's I honestly don't think I've had a really proper decent break. Not even through Christmas. Uh, I've probably not been a point where I've had clients not even just stopping from them booking in and been thinking about sessions, even planning them, um, or recording something. Because somehow, even I think these weeks have really flown by, and it's been just. I have to say, it's been one of the most fascinating stretches of work I've had in quite a while. Quite a while now, I suppose. Um, People have been coming up with all sorts of things on their minds. Stress just won't switch off, and sleep that refuses to cooperate. The overthinking, ruminating, feeling just trapped in that cycle of what ifs. Fear of flying, it's a common one. It's always interesting because the brain always reacts so predictably, but in such an individual way. Um, and then there's the smokers and the vapors. Certainly, beginning of the year, absolutely, all those people just ready to make that change for good. It's been a real, it's been a real mix, and some of them have been quite. Some of those sessions are quite quiet, reflective, almost meditative, I suppose. And then there are others that are just full of laughter and sudden realizations, and well, sometimes it's both in that same session. So I can't share anyone's personal stories, of course. Confidentiality is first, but I can say it's been amazing to see people notice all those little shifts in themselves. Well, they're just a bit more calm and wow, just a lighter mind, and that wonderful ability to sleep just a little bit easier, and or even just to breathe more freely before flight. Yeah. Now, you might have also noticed I've been a bit quieter online recently. Um, that's because Facebook and Instagram, Meta, decided I need a little break. Not the kind I'd have chosen, but it was a reminder that I don't think the world always goes according to plan, does it? Sometimes the brain just needs to adapt to it. Um, Currently under suspension as a result of a post that was just bringing to light. It was National No Smoking Day, and I just wanted to make sure that people were aware of it. And yeah, I think for some reason the AI decided it's triggered something. So I expect I'll be back at some point, but it's just a waiting game now, which actually just reflects. It actually fits perfectly with the work I'm doing every day, learning, just helping people learn how their minds are responding and learning to work with them much better, rather than against them, I suppose. I think it's interesting to see how different people bring different challenges. Some people are coming in exhausted from not sleeping for what seems like months on end, and anxious that they'll never really get any proper rest ever again. But and then there's those nervous ones about getting on planes and imagining all the what ifs for that first step onto that aircraft. And those are just the ones that are just ready to finally stop that smoking or vaping, and just wondering if they've got that self-control to make it stick. But yet, I think in every case, something is already happening inside them. Subtle, small, and often unnoticed. See, the mind is constantly working. It's constantly trying to protect us, even when it feels inconvenient or frustrating. And I think my job is to help people notice those patterns, give them a little bit of space, to see how small, gentle changes can ripple out in ways they don't always expect. Sometimes people come in expecting a sort of instant magic, I suppose. Yes, yeah. There are moments that feel a bit magical. Totally, yeah. Sudden insight, maybe, a moment of just calm. But I think the real work is always quietly happening within them. It usually takes patience and just noticing. I like to think of myself as a slightly bemused guide through a very complicated landscape. sometimes we can stumble, sometimes we can laugh, and sometimes it's astonishing how quickly the mind shifts when it's just given a little guidance. Now, speaking of being busy, it has been relentless, really. High client numbers, almost no real proper time off, a schedule that feels like it's full from morning all the way to evening. And some days I've even thought some days, am I doing too much? And yeah. But then I watch someone leave a session looking calmer, or even hear someone say, I just slept properly last night for the first time in months. And then that's when I remember why I do this. Even when it feels like you're getting a little bit too tired, it's deeply, deeply rewarding. So I think what this period has really reminded me about is maybe it's useful for anyone watching. It's that progress is often quiet. It's not always obvious. Doesn't always look, dramatic, but small, consistent changes, noticed and supported, lead to those meaningful differences in life. And just like the brain just can't stop itself worrying or overthinking instantly, real change rarely arrives like a bolt of lightning. Yeah. It's more like noticing the weather changing gradually, little by little, until suddenly, you realise the sky is a little bit clearer, and boy is it clear today. And what a beautiful day it is today. So that's a little update from me. Just been busy, sometimes slightly bemused, often fascinating, but always full of people quietly making those meaningful changes in their lives. So if you feel that this is useful for you, I'll be sharing more of these. If you feel it's good, just let me know. Maybe more reflections, thoughts, observations in the coming weeks, maybe about sleep, stress, overthinking, fear of flying, and even how the habits change. But for now, just take care of yourself. Notice those little shifts in your own minds, and remember it's often the quiet changes that make the biggest difference. So thanks for stopping by, and bye for now.